What's up, guys? Today I'm showing you a thermostat fix of the entire thermostat housing coming out so you could replace the thermostat. This is a 2002 Pontiac Sunfire. There's the housing there, and the two bolts that are holding the thermostat housing together, they are beyond seized, and yes, I've tried everything. So we're taking the housing out from where it attaches to the engine. So this is a little setup I have to take off the top bolt. Now, depending on what tools you have, you can make it a lot easier on yourself if you have a 13 mil swivel socket, which I end up getting later, instead of having like 1,000 pieces that I put together here. Anyways, take off the top bolt. Now, to get at the second bolt, you might need to remove the oxygen sensor and do an extender bar behind the manifold. So disconnect the battery, and if you have the oxygen sensor socket, it'll make it a lot easier on you. Now, again, with a random extension set, we went behind the manifold there, and long story short, got the other bolt out. Now once it's loose, we're taking off the hoses. Now, make sure you don't cut these. The one that we're working on right now, we ended up cutting it, and that was a bad mistake because I ended up having to go to a scrapyard to get another one, and luckily I was able to find one, so you can't buy them anywhere. So there you go, check it out. Entire thermostat housing is out. Make sure you have a catch pan underneath the car for this entire process from start to finish, because you're going to lose a lot of coolant, obviously, so be prepared for that. Yeah, here you can see where the housing connects to the engine and the top and bottom bolt I was mentioning. This is me making or attempting to make a clean surface to drill out the bolts. So while I do that, I will explain a couple other things. So just, yeah, make sure you have a catch pan underneath for coolant that's going to come out. And also, I believe there's a gasket where the thermostat housing connects to the engine. I didn't put a new one in when I replaced it, so I haven't had any leaking issues or anything. But yeah, I'm not too sure if a gasket belongs there. I'm like pretty sure there is one, but I didn't put a new one in, so yeah. Anyways, drilled it out. Now it looks like that. Here I'm showing the thermostat boil test. Now the purpose of this is to prove that even though you have a bad thermostat, it still might open and close if you do the boil test. Now, as you can see, it was with boiling water, it was open. Take it out, now it's starting to close, as you can see there. I don't know the exact temperature of the water in the pot there, so I know it's very specific depending on how hot your coolant is. It opens up at a certain temperature, blah blah blah. But the point is, this test, even though your thermostat may look to pass it, like it looks like it passes it, it might still be bad. Here are the parts: new thermostat gasket, and the hose that I got from the scrapyard. And while I was at it, I also got a new flange for the thermostat that the thermostat sits in. So I got a new one of those at the scrapyard. Here I am tightening up the bolts for the housing to the what I'm calling a flange. So just tightening that up, nothing special, backyard mechanic style. And here even more crazy. I'm JB welding around that flange and the housing just to make a tight seal. Here's the 13 mil flex socket I talked about. So that came in handy for reinstalling. Made it a lot easier to do the top and bottom bolts. So this is the whole reinstallation process. Check that out, JB Weld, backyard mechanic style. So this is it all reconnected. Now I'm going to put the oxygen sensor back, reconnect the battery, and don't forget to top up with your coolant. And for this engine, GM, make sure you use Prestone or the approved Dexcool coolant.